Hello. Today I will explain some more things I figured out. So, recently I've had this experience where I cut out. Okay, no, I'll make the idea first. So, I've picked up on a few nuances on how people influence you, people that you speak to. I used to think it was a lot more quantitative than qualitative, as in a sense that, let's say you speak very little to people, or to not so many people, then the amount of like impact that they'll have on you will be very small. And this is absolutely not true. Um, in fact, the less people you speak to, the more significant their impact will be on you. And maybe even to a degree where their overall impact on you will be even bigger than if you were to speak to a lot of people consistently. Why? Because whatever their, however way they will affect you, if it was a lot of people, it will get diluted, and then it will get like the signal will get split up because there's different messages. There will be a lot of noise and things will get diluted. So even though there's a lot more signal, it will get more. It won't be as strong in the way that you receive it. If there's only one signal, it's completely undiluted, and that allows you, once you interpret it, to do a lot more with that signal, right? So one person, even if you speak to them once a week or once every 2 weeks, if that's the only person you're speaking to or something like this, they can have tremendous impact. And the less they speak, the bigger the potential for that impact is. Even if there was just one person and you were to spend a lot of time with them versus just a little bit of time, if you're to spend less time with them, it will still create a bigger signal because when you're spending a long time with them, their signal is getting diluted within themselves. There's going to be noise that they create that suppresses their own signal, right? So talking to people is a very, very qualitative thing, and I failed to appreciate the degree to which that was so. I thought that, oh, okay, I'm barely speaking to people. They're not gonna have much influence or impact on me. And I only realized how wrong I was very recently because I have completely cut contact with two people that I thought were um, kind of insignificant in the way they influenced me. And they were the last two people that I have known for some years. So I have completely cut contact with all people I knew before. Um, and how should I say? These were not people that I looked up to or anything. It's just people that I would use to um, I don't know, just have some. I wouldn't consider them like extremely intelligent, just like medium intelligence people that are. I'm just having like average ass conversations with them, right? Um, I'm not really getting much out of them. I'm not really trying to get much out of them. I'm just kind of talking to them, kind of for fun, right? So it's not even that they were someone I looked up to or whatever. No, the perception of them was very whatever, casual, right? And just cutting out these two people has actually um changed so much. It has changed uh how like it completely changes the trajectory that I'm going on right now. Like it changed the pace at which I'm moving, at the pace at which I'm iterating on ideas or progressing in life, you could say. And I, I think I know why. even if you don't respect someone or you don't look for someone for advice, their thoughts still kind of bounce off of you, and they can't not affect you. They physically can't. And the reason for that is, um, if you are, how should I say, you perceive things that are external to you with a much higher um, level of focus compared to things that are internal to you. So, because, and the way it works is, imagine you're in a warm bath, right? Or even simpler, imagine you're to drink warm water with no like tea or anything, just warm water. You will basically not even feel like anything. Like it won't uh, trigger any of your senses. But if you were to drink cold water, it will trigger way more of your senses. And if something is extremely like, and the reason for that is because warm water is close to your current body temperature or whatever, and when you have it in your mouth, it's like, well, I basically always have water in my mouth, right? It basically does like no difference, which is why it, even though there is water, there is something there, you can't perceive it as much because it is so close to your norm, right? So everyone has a norm, everyone has their internal, and anything that deviates from the norm is going to have a big amplifier on that signal. And anything that is, the closer it is to the norm, the less you will notice it, right? Which is why it's so hard to reflect on yourself and to find um, certain behaviors or whatever, because they are camouflaged within your senses, because they're literally hidden in plain sight. You can't see them because they are normal to you. And uh, what that means is, even if a small signal from outside becomes a really big signal very quickly, it just some really like small loser idea will amplify to become a really big, uh, to have a very big impact on you, even if you don't realize it. And yeah, I guess that is the explanation for it. So, how, what are the conclusions I can draw from this? How do you choose the people that you speak to, or whatever? Um, the other direction I've kind of went with this thought is, well, if these signals get magnified a lot, then I need to find someone who is signaling in the correct direction. And even if, uh, and how should I say? I've explained before the trades in energy. Just the exchanges you have in energy will have a massive uh, reinforcing effect on whatever you're trying to do. What do I mean by that? Let's say you speak to someone and they're not doing shit. They're just, I don't know, grinding school or something. They're just kind of living on autopilot. They're not really cooking anything, right? Um, you speak to this person. What's your exchange of energy? The signal they're gonna give you is fucking mediocrity, not doing anything, averageness, being tired and bored of life, right? Disengagement from life. That small signal will blow up when it hits you, right? Especially if that's what you're not trying to do. If you go and you instead find someone who, I don't know, if you, in circles where people actually create shit, where someone is actually making something, doing something, and when you exchange with this person, be like, hey, I did this, and they're like, hey, I did this, you get this really cool thing. It's like you set off how should I say, the things they show you like sparks your uh, not competitive in a sense that you're trying to dominate each other, but you get a little bit hyped by association with them. Like, damn, my friend is cooking, and assuming you don't have any neurotic bullshit, you will be genuinely happy for them, and that will trigger signals like um, we are tunneled in on getting this. Like we're locked in. Let's go. Let's get this, right? And it doesn't even matter that much, like the personal attributes of those people. It matters more the direction that they're going in. They could be extremely fucked up in a lot of ways, right? But if the signals that you're exchanging is like, let's go, let's get this. Look what I did. Look what you did. Damn, how can we make this better? That will, how should I say, your exchange will amplify both of your signals, and you will, how should I say, on a subconscious level, your brain will be filled with ideas that are directed towards going in that direction. And that is the most important thing that you can get from conversation with people. Um, and when you speak to people that aren't doing this, you're getting signals that aren't directed towards this, which in turn function like noise, like mufflers from that, and they distract you from what you're trying to achieve. So, in simple terms, find people that are doing things that you think are cool to you, or you think are you would like to engage with. I'm not saying to find someone you look up to. I'm saying find someone who's moving in a direction that you respect. I guess. Like I'm not saying you need to idolize anyone or anything. Just someone that is, cooking something that you actually want to eat. And those people, I mean, if they're moving in that direction, it shows that they want to go there. And if you have a desire to go there, in your exchanges, you will reinforce their identity because they will have someone who is interested in what they're doing, and they'll reinforce your identity because they'll naturally also be interested in what you're doing if you are in a similar field or whatever. So that's why it's so important to find people that are have like a genuine um, compass towards certain things, and those can be trivial. Like just I don't know. Let's say you have 10 friends, and one of them is a video editor and actually is like making content or whatever. Like that's interesting already, right? You might not really care too much about his exact content, but come on, he's a video editor. What's everyone else doing? Fucking sitting playing World of Warcraft or some shit? Like what are you gonna get from those people? Fuck all. What are you gonna get from the video editor? You're gonna get um, excitement to build something, right? Um, so yeah, in simple words, the way people influence you is much, much bigger than you would ever think. They don't need to directly bring ideas into you. It's just, how should I say, on a subconscious level, you eat that shit up, whether you want it or not. Um, what else? There's also no point trying to make someone into someone that you want them to be. Like, it's just basic. Like, even in physics, imagine there's two moving bodies, right? And one is moving in this direction, and you're trying to move in this direction, right? If these two bodies collapse, then uh, they're gonna lose like a lot of energy in in terms of speed. They're gonna lose a lot of speed, and it's gonna go into the collision here. And in the end, like even if you were to push through and try to turn them around, it's gonna take you so much energy to do that. Uh, And this person, in realistically, in real life, will be also holding the brakes the whole time because most people resist the change. And it's just natural, like we're like rubber bands. There's like a limit to our elasticity. There's a limit to how much we're willing to change at a time. Um, of course, you can change that limit, but there is always going to be a limit, right? You can't just in one day be like, okay, now I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger and have like massive Hulk-looking muscles. No, it takes time, and there's a limit to the degree to which you can change per day, right? So, uh, if you see someone that is like going in that direction and you're gonna collide and you're gonna have to like push them, first of all, understand that the reason they're going in this direction is probably systemic, as in even if for whatever reason they somehow manage to reverse their direction, their system will eventually apply force in such a way that it will just they will just end up going in that direction no matter what you're going to do with them. So it's completely waste of energy from your perspective to spend your energy trying to accelerate someone or change the direction that they're going. Complete waste of energy. Uh, And what is way more productive is to find other people that are going in the same direction and you kind of group with them. And now when you're going in this direction and I don't know, something happens, the way it works is it becomes a little bit like a safety net. Let's say you have a lot of buddies and they're all attached. Um, Not strongly attached. They don't have to be. Like if one guy, I don't know, his mom dies and he goes down like terrible spiral, you don't have to go with him. Um, but you could be attached a little bit, uh, and that will just keep you a little bit more in the right form, if that makes sense. How should I say? It will also kind of guide you. If you surround yourself by people that are all going in the same direction, it's gonna take a lot more effort to like drift apart. The problem with complete isolation is, well, it's an advantage as well. Um, is it becomes extremely easy to maneuver, but in doing that, you lose a lot of your consistency. So by kind of engaging with people that are going in a certain direction, you're able to get a little bit more clearer sense of direction and a little bit more stability and consistency. And they also get that because you're all moving in the same direction, right? So your surroundings are very important. Um, and also in your engagement with these people, uh, you're even if you do spend a little bit of energy, like let's say I don't know, someone you start speeding ahead or something, right? And imagine there's like a elastic band attached between you two. This might have a slingshot effect where you kind of pulling a little bit might be like might fire them up, and then they're gonna move faster, and it ends up being this zigzag thing where um it's just a mutually beneficial exchange, right? So, and to be able to achieve that, um, you need to find someone who already has uh, a bias towards going in that direction, someone who already has their compass set, someone who already has some momentum going in that direction. Don't look for people that are. Do not ever trust anyone that ever is like, oh, if only I could start right now, I would love to. Those people are, oh my god, they are the biggest scammers ever. They're just bullshitters. What are they in reality? They're usually people that are have a really strong bond to something. They're like, um, what's the best example? Let's say there's a shop and there's a fence in front of a shop, and you don't want to bring your dog into the shop, so you just tie it to the fence so it doesn't run away. Those people are like that. They find a fence and they are tied to it, or they tied themselves to it, and they're not willing to let go. And they're they will show signs of wanting to go in a certain direction, but you will never see them actually leave or move significantly in that direction. Why? Because their feet are anchored to where they are. They are scared of change, or um, or they're unwilling to let go of their present, which basically means they're just scared of change. They're just scared, and those people are the worst. If you even remotely attach yourself to these people, uh, they will just permanently drag you down and never ever bring you forward. And very large proportion of people are like this. Uh, you need to just completely cut out those people. You cannot ever, um, you cannot ever benefit from exchanging with them. They will never offer you anything new, ever. I have not had one instance where I was like, yeah, I spoke to this person and I actually got something from them. Um, yeah, and they will always give you like false promises, like, oh yeah, I will love to do this. So if someone's always saying they want to do something and they seem to be in this beginner phase, just run, run. It's like, oh, I want to start a business. It's like, okay, uh, where are your other attempts? None? Run, run. This person has strong systemic uh reason why they don't have any attempts at anything that they do. It's the people that say they like music but have never made a fucking song. It's the people that say they it's for example in Counter-Strike, people that have a lot of clips and have never edited a video. It's the people that are saying they want to learn fucking programming and then they never fucking learn programming. It's the people that are always. You get the idea. I don't need to go further. These people are cancer. They are complete um, parasites, and their job is to convince you, like from their perspective, what they are trying to do is they're trying to convince you, manipulate your perception into A, feeling sorry for them, B, believing that they are just victims of their circumstance and not trying to, or, and are really trying to go there. No, they're not. They're not. They're, they were maybe victims at some point, but it, how should I say? For someone to stay a victim this long, they need to be like an aggressor onto themselves. Like they are their biggest chain keeper, let's say. Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? So, pay way more attention to the people you're talking with. Be way, way, way more vigilant, and um, do not forgive anything, even the slightest deviation, even the slightest. Let's say you thought you had this exchange with someone, but then they start deviating and going in this direction. It's not where you want, and you start feeling this tension. Just let them go. You don't need to fucking go with them. You don't need to have this conflict. It will completely destroy your energy if you were to do that with everyone. You need to assess the people that you speak to in terms of what are you are getting out of it. And a lot of you'll think, "Oh my God, that's so materialistic. That's so calculating." I think that's a very infantile way of seeing things. It's a very naive and frankly just stupid way of seeing things. It's like, oh, yes, but if my friend is starting to do drugs, then I want to save him and convince him. Bro, he has free will. What if he wants to do that? Are you his mom? Like, who are you to tell him what to do? Um, you're first of all, that's very disrespectful to who they are, and that's very disrespectful to yourself. You don't have better things to do? I'm sorry, but life is too short. Life is short. It's gonna be over tomorrow. Um, and generally, the reason why we're attached to these people is usually weakness. We are scared of letting go. We, it's kind of similar to these people. Um, we can't let go of the potential that we have imagined in our head. And generally, I mean, that's all. Like, just because you only choose people that you interact with that actually have a good impact on you, that does not make you a fucking psychopath. That just makes you a fucking not a retard. Like, why the fuck would I talk to someone who is consistently just worsening my life? And then justify those stupid decisions by some moral, like, oh, I helped this really poor person feel better about themselves. Like, fuck off. Um, okay, I'm gonna go into very way bigger topic, but I'm gonna explain it very short. Maybe I'll do a separate. I've already done a video on it, but I've had more insights on this. If someone is capable of empathy or positive feelings towards another, they will not be weak. Weakness is something that is inherently uh, inherently a product of apathy towards people. Like this whole idea how these people like manipulate you and push into your emotions is like, oh look at, I thought we were such a good friends, blah blah blah. That is not true. If you were such good friends, you would be able to like first of all, what effect do positive feelings towards someone have on you personally? Uh, it increases your level of engagement. So, for example, uh, if I really like doing an activity or really like talking to some person, I'm going to be more engaged. What does that mean? I'm going to remember more. I am going to pay more attention. I am going to think about it more. I'm gonna place more value on it. I'm more engaged. I get more out of it. If I speak to someone I don't like that I don't care about, I'm not gonna be engaged. I'm gonna have really bad memory. I'm gonna be very uh like my brain isn't gonna hold uh the information that I've consumed. Um that's why it's a big sign if someone like remembers like small details about you. You know that they engage with you as a person if they do. If they don't, if they have really bad memory, that means they don't. And people that generally have bad memory and generally are disengaged, they're just psychopaths. They don't have strong connections to anyone or life themselves. And those people are to be avoided at all costs. Weakness always comes from apathy. Uh, or not always, but well, maybe always. I'll think about that later. But there is a very strong correlation between the two. So these people, they don't like you. They don't care about you. And these people are actually more likely to care about you. Why? Because engagement with things like makes them more alert, more alive, and that converts into being more strong. And so generally, if you fall in love with someone, you feel more alive, you feel more energetic. That's how you know it's real. And how should I say? That new energy will push you to become better. If someone in your surrounding, or that you think you're really close to, isn't pushing to become better, or doesn't come alive when they speak to you, they don't care about you. It's that simple. So when you're choosing people, you should choose people that are the most alive and the most uh or trying to move in towards the best life for themselves as much as possible. Because those people are more likely to form real connections with you. They're less psychopathic, less um dead inside or whatever. And B, you're just gonna have a mutually beneficial exchange. Like you're both gonna benefit from it. So not only is it more productive, two, it's actually more genuine. Um, so in general, and that applies to everything, even intelligence. You would think that like there's this stereotype of psychopathic geniuses. That's so stupid. That's so wrong. The most psychopathic people are stupid people. Generally, to be intelligent, you need to be way more sensitive, way more empathetic. Uh, that doesn't mean that you, uh, and a lot of you also correlate, you don't understand what empathy is either. You think sympathy is empathy. Those are two different things. If someone is sitting there like, oh, I feel so sorry for you, meh, meh, meh," that is not empathy. They're just, like just because someone is saying they feel sad for you or whatever, that does not mean that they understand you. It's like, oh, you died. Oh, I can't imagine how you feel. Oh, or like fuck off. Uh, a lot of the time, the people that do understand you better are the ones that actually have like the least reaction, or at least that's what I found. For example, when I used to not understand people so good, I used to give them these little benefit of the doubts. I used to be like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you," and then after I started understanding people better, I actually stopped doing that because I understand what they're doing and I understand exactly the situation they're in, and understanding it actually makes me less sympathetic towards them. So being more empathetic makes me less sympathetic because I like how am I supposed to be sympathetic towards this person? I understand why they're doing it. I understand what they're doing. I'm not gonna sit there, oh, I feel so sorry for you. Like you're doing it to yourself. You don't need sympathy. Okay, so but the point I was trying to make is generally empathy and intelligence are also things that correlate, but they don't correlate with sympathy. And you guys can't see the difference between the two, which is why you come to the wrong conclusions. Um, yeah, I don't know why that's relevant. Oh, yeah, I was saying about how being strong actually, like people that are directed towards getting things and becoming stronger are generally more capable of like warm connections and feelings. And people that don't do that, they're just husks. They're incapable of this. Ciao.